And welcome to the celebrated nightly news of Calaveras County. My name is John.
And I'm Kim.
And we thank you for stopping by on our weekly entertainment update edition, where we get to tell you what to do.
Yes, we do.
Not that you'll listen.
Not that you'll listen.
But
once a week, we get to tell you what to do on Thursday evenings, right?
Because Calaveras County, there is a lot to do.
Yes, there is. And also Friday evenings, we have our rerun
of this
Weekend Entertainment Update.
Weekend Entertainment Update edition, right?
Talk again.
Well, it is kind of a
this
mouthful.
Tuesday is making me so I can't talk.
I know. And anyway, we'd like to thank our sponsor tonight, Gary Toffanelli. Thank you, sir, for sponsoring our news tonight.
Thank you so much.
He's paying us obscene amounts of money.
Yes.
Right? Isn't that just? It's just. We can be bought, but it's not cheap.
No.
Right?
Exactly.
Exactly. Okay. Here we go. All right.
So we had some fires today. Let's start off on hard news. How about that? Is that all right with you?
All right, go ahead. Let's do it.
We had some fires today. Do you want to start?
And that'll segue into our
fires?
No, go ahead. Yeah.
We had a few fires today. Actually, they were going one right after the other. We had two vegetation fires at Jamestown Road and Lavender Lane and Racetrack in Tuolumne County. They were quickly contained. Good thing about these fires today is that they were all quickly contained.
Right, they were.
This one, let me see. It didn't say how big it was. It was just there were two fires on the same side of the road. No immediate structures were threatened, and the fire had a slow rate of spread, and it was quickly contained. That was over in Tuolumne County. And another one was a small vegetation fire on Highway 4 in Appaloosa Way, which was also quickly contained. It was a 40-foot by 100-foot spot fire, quickly contained. And then they had 6 fires on Highway 32 between Hazelden and Lake.
And this one was over in the lower
LaGrange
reaches,
area, right?
LaGrange area. And this one, it started rolling along, grew up to about 30 acres, and they didn't know the exact cause, but it was vehicle related. So it was probably, and typically we see these where you'll have like a catalytic converter or a car,
where there's multiple
or maybe,
fires caused
or maybe
by
a
that,
boat that is dragging a chain,
they
or
don't
just
realize
and this one, luckily, they kept it fairly small, but it did close Highway 132 for about an hour, a little over an hour or so.
Thank goodness it was quickly contained.
Yep.
Could still be going on right now. We got very lucky today with those, but they were all within the same hour.
They were all just working all of a sudden.
All of a sudden. We were just talking about how we had any fires lately, but luckily none of them are still continuing.
And also on a sad note, last evening, just as we were finishing up the news and getting ready to post it and stuff, we saw this one come across, and we knew it was bad, but they just said major injuries at the time when it came across.
It's just said a vehicle had hit a brick wall, a rock wall. That was what it said. It said major injuries. And then we received the press release early this morning saying that the victim had succumbed to her injuries, a young 20-year-old gal, actually, from Stockton.
Yes, and this is...
I believe that was either en route. She was meta-flighted out.
Right.
So it must have happened en route or at the hospital when they got there.
And from the looks of the initial reports that came in from scene last night about 11:30, I think she may have been maybe not conscious, but or something on the scene, because they were saying that one of the things that came in is they either didn't want to or couldn't get out of the car. So maybe, I don't know. I mean,
it's confusing when you read it.
But typically it didn't have, usually they say.
Yeah, it just wasn't mentioned. That's why I'm thinking it must have happened on the way to or there at the hospital.
And our thoughts and prayers are to the family. I believe this is the 7th traffic fatality this year, so be careful out there. Yes, we do. And it is 20-year-old Rachel Nozanow. And I believe there was a pet in the car as well.
Yes.
And don't know on that. And 20 years old. Just sobering.
Yes, it is. Very much so.
And that was off of Highway 4, off of Gelding Road. Near Gelding Road.
There was also a motorcycle collision today where the gentleman suffered major injuries, was meta-flighted out. He was apparently riding with a group of motorcyclists. This happened at Highway 26 and Humbug Creek Road this morning. We're not sure the length of his injuries, but it did say major injuries.
And he had multiple broken bones.
Okay.
Multiple broken bones, and look at the report, and this is a fascinating. Normally these reports are fairly routine, but this one, it showed the technical expertise that CHP and organizations like this are starting to use now. For example, he called from his cell phone. Okay, He had multiple broken bones. The motorcycle lodged, I believe, about 30 feet off the roadway in the V of a tree. He went down farther than that.
He called himself.
But he called himself. He called 911 in, and he thought he was still in Amador County. So the initial thing was they couldn't find him.
Okay.
They didn't know where he was.
Okay.
So the CHP helicopter came out. And the interesting thing, if you read the report, which we have posted on the site, this is kind of an interesting thing to where they actually, by his cell phone signal, triangulated where he was and figured out that he was in Calaveras County. So the helicopter above, they couldn't see through the tree canopy, so they could not actually see him when they were talking to him on the phone.
Yes.
But from his cell signal, they could pinpoint the area where he was.
Isn't that amazing?
So then they sent ground personnel to the area there, and then he was metaflighted out. But it was an interesting thing to where that is one where, obviously, because we're a website, we're a web show, we believe in the future of technology and what it can do. And this is another instance that it's affecting even our law enforcement personnel and everything, where this one possibly, maybe not a young man's life was saved, but his, it probably will help his recovery times and everything else.
Yes,
he didn't have to sit down there longer because they were actually able to find him based on
his cell phone.
So
amazing. That
is kind of an interesting little wrinkle. So we would implore you to actually read this report, which I thought that was kind of a fascinating piece.
Do you want to head on over to the fire news that we have for State of California?
Sure.
Okay.
And this is one where, and we were prepping the little bit of video from the governor's site, and this one, it's kind of interesting where it says POTUS was here.
Okay.
President of the United States was here.
Okay.
And he was in town up in the Shasta Trinity area, up in that area. And we're going to play a little bit from his...
He did a press conference today?
He did a press conference, toured some of the fire areas in Redding over there.
Here we go.
And he was with the governor, and he was...
What's that dye job look?
Just kidding.
Hopefully you're not watching it.
Yeah. He was with the governor and Senator Dianne Feinstein. And here we go. This is the press conference, and it's not every day. You have the president in our neck of the woods. There they are. Let's see.
It's been my honor to travel with the governor and the senator and Forest Service folks and the fire folks here in California to see the fires.
Cameras.
A couple of things I'd like to reflect on, and I ask the governor to say a couple of words. One, I always come to make sure that the federal government is coordinating closely with the state government. I know Governor Schwarzenegger well enough to tell you that if we weren't, he'd let me know. I want to thank those who work for the federal government for their hard work and their willingness to respond quickly and their service to our country. Secondly, I want to say something to the firefighters. We had the privilege of going and meeting some of these smoke jumpers. These are unusual people who are very courageous, determined, and dedicated. And I had this special sense there when I was with them of the spirit of forward. I want to thank them for their courage. I want to thank all those that are helping make the effort work here. People are working long hours, and the citizens in this part of the world really thank you for it. I want to thank the Boy Scouts. We've got 3 Scouts here who are representative of a bunch of Scouts who are working on the Healthy Forest Initiative and helping make sure these firefighters don't have to deal with some of these hot blazes the way they've had in the past. And finally, I'd like to just let the people out here know that we're paying attention in Washington, D.C. We care about you, and that we'll respond as best as we possibly can.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. President, for coming out here, making this aerial tour, and getting a briefing here. And just wanted to thank also Senator Feinstein for coming out here also, and for the great coordination and always working with us very closely. And I just was saying to the President how much we appreciate, how much we want to thank him for the great assistance that we've gotten this last few weeks. And also last year with the last fires, there was immediate action. We made it very clear that we are very good in fighting fires. We can fight 20, 30 fires at the same time. Because we have the best firefighters, the bravest, the best experienced firefighters in the world, without any doubt. But when you hear that there are 2,000 fires at one given time, that's a little bit too much for us and for all the great firefighters. So we need then the assistance and the help. And the federal government came in very quickly. There was quick reaction. All of the departments of the various different secretaries have called us. U.S. Forest Service, Homeland Security. Everyone was on the phone, and we had our briefings, and we coordinated. And what made us successful with fighting these fires was this extraordinary coordination between the locals, the state, and the federal government. And without the federal government, we wouldn't be able to do it. We have right now 20,000 firefighters out there fighting those fires. We have 1,500 fire trucks. Just if you think about those numbers, and 80% of the U.S. resources in firefighting are right now in California. So this is extraordinary kind of work from the federal government. And I just want to say thank you, because each and every one of the secretaries kept saying to me, President told us to do everything that we can to help California. That's great news. And so I want to also say thank you very much to Senator Feinstein, because she was on those conference calls and she fought and made sure that everyone is coming together and all this. So again, I want to thank also my Homeland Security Office, the OES, and everyone that has worked so hard, the volunteers that came in and helped, to help those victims and the people that had to be evacuated and so on. So thank you very much for your great help.
Very nice. Very nice.
All
We
right.
have the current incident map of the Cal Fire, from Cal Fire. These are all the active, the active fires that are going on right now in California.
Yeah, this is it.
This
And
was
kind of an
updated this
interesting
evening
thing.
at 7 p.m.
These are the main ones. There are 16 active. Let's see. Of the ones that are the major, there's several hundred, but these are still showing the majors. This is on the CAL FIRE's website. We also have it on our site now. The ones that have been declared, disaster areas and things like that. Man, so this is the latest map.
So declared counties are the blue.
Yep.
The dark blue there.
So we have Kern, Santa Barbara, Monterey, Mariposa, Santa Clara, Mendocino, Plumas, Shasta, and Trinity, and Mendocino.
Mendocino, wow. We were over in Monterey over the weekend for a night, and I overheard some people talking about there were like 1,500 firefighters
On the big surf
duty
fire?
on the big surf
Yeah.
fire, and basically people were not. They had. I mean, I think they were even closing it closer to. Is it closer to
Well,
Carmel?
that's up in Carmel Valley.
Yeah, the Carmel Valley area now. People were not able to get back to their homes.
Yeah.
So some people were staying. They weren't evacuating. They were just staying. They weren't leaving. I heard them saying. So very interesting. So we try to have that map up there for you every day, so you can keep updated with the current fire situations that are going on in California. It tells you how contained they are, if there's any structures being threatened, things like that.
And you can tell that the governor was genuinely thankful to the federal government. If you didn't catch it on some of that there, where what came out in that is 80% of the nation's firefighting resources now
Are in
probably the
California.
surplus, the ones that they can move, are now in California right now.
Isn't that amazing? And one of them is Hannah's husband.
There we go.
So, okay. On to some softer news, you think? Are we done talking fires? What do you think?
Boy,
There's
let's
a
see.
horse
What else
missing.
did we have? There was a horse missing, and we don't know.
We don't know if they found the horse.
We don't know if Pepper was.
We got a call this morning from a gal from Santa Barbara wanting us to put this up on our site.
Yes.
They had some friends that were camping up in the Stanislaus National Forest on Wednesday, and the horse was frightened away by a bear.
By a bear.
Who entered the camp.
In the campground.
And the horse is now missing. And the horse was last seen at the Herring Creek Reservoir. And we have the information on our site. If you have seen this horse, this black, beautiful quarter horse,
Pepper,
named Pepper,
we have big pictures on this.
They're offering an reward, not award.
That'll work too.
Yes, if you find Pepper, we have the gal's name, whom you can reach, and their telephone number. So, if you happen to see a roaming horse, well, if they do find him, he's a beautiful horse.
Yeah.
So. Okay, I guess we should probably get down to the weekend stuff. There's
And
a lot
let's
of stuff
do the
going
weekend
on.
update. Let's get on it.
Move on to the Board of Supervisors. The closed session does
the
continue
closed
tomorrow
session
evening.
that will never end.
Yes.
They took the night off tonight. Then they will resume the closed session. So technically, Tuesday's Board of Supervisors
It's
meeting
still going on.
has not ended.
Yes, it has. No, it hasn't. It's continuing tomorrow evening at 5 p.m.
So,
So we will let you know as soon as we know anything. Okay.
and as on the closed sessions, you don't really know
What they're
what
talking
it's even all about.
Because it's closed session. That's right. This weekend, what's going on, John? We have lots of stuff going on.
There is.
The Murphy's Homecoming. Starts. Actually, this is something new. They're having it on Friday evening and Saturday. It used to just be one day, Saturday. Remember?
And we even have the video from Mary Boblett that we're not going to run a chance
yes.
to. Yeah, we didn't get a chance to play that, but we did talk with one of the Calaveras County Parks and Rec Commissioners for District 3, and she was down technically out of district.
Yes, she was. Because we met with her in
in
Murphy's Park.
So technically she was out of district.
Yes.
So
She is putting on a lot of the youth activities for Murphy's Homecoming Day on Saturday. She's in charge of a lot of. They'll be having a chess tournament, hula hoops, all kinds of fun stuff, right?
duck
For the
races.
kids, duck, which is my favorite. Let me see. Murphy's Homecoming. The Murphy's Community Club, celebrating its 60th anniversary, will host the traditional Murphy's Homecoming on Friday and Saturday, July 18th and 19th in Murphy's Community Park. Festivities will begin Friday at 5:30 p.m. with a gathering in the park where Dick Hungerford and his Dixieland Band will perform. The club will provide some hors d'oeuvres, and people are encouraged to bring a picnic supper. Wine, beer, and other beverages will be available for purchase. Saturday's events will begin at 11:30 a.m. with a concert by the Calaveras Community Band. At 12 noon, there will be a nostalgia luncheon for longtime area residents over the age of 70. Other activities are planned for the kids, young and old, games, and all kinds of stuff. So there'll be the duck races, no admission charge, and all that's. It's basically a Friday evening and all-day Saturday event.
Cool. Now, I don't want to mess up with my machine over here,
Okay, so
but
all
looks
this-
like also on Friday, looks
Okay.
like we have, mail order brides? We have,
Yes. The Murphy's Creek Theater continues with their mirror project.
Merry Wives of Windsor?
Yes.
All kinds
Fresh
of fun
Fridays
stuff.
continues tomorrow evening, as they do
Yes, it
every
does.
Friday through the month of October. Go out and get your fresh produce, fresh veggies, flowers. They have some new vendors. They have some bakeries, olive companies, things like that. Yeah, you're right.
Yes, they do.
Males order brides or Big Harry's Deals Scandalous Scheme. And that actually opens up tomorrow night, Friday the 18th at 8 p.m. at the Black Park Players. And continues through Saturday, August 2nd. Merry Wives of Windsor continues, 8 p.m. I thought I was going to do Friday and you're going to do Saturday. We talked about that beforehand. Merry
So
Wives
I
of
did it
Windsor
wrong.
at Murphy's Creek Theater continues tomorrow evening through July 26th. So next weekend is the last weekend to catch it, and we
So
highly recommend it.
I'm supposed to do Saturday?
Yes.
Okay. All
And
right.
10 o'clock, the Celebrated Nightly News
It's
of Calaveras
us.
County.
Yeah, us again.
Tomorrow night, if you'd like to
Wow.
catch this again.
Because we know you don't want to miss a
Yes.
second.
Yes,
I
exactly.
mean, because this is just riveting. Right?
Now we're going on to Saturday.
We are?
Yes. Are you ready? Are you prepped over there?
I'm getting close. I'm getting close
The
to
Murphy's
prep.
Homecoming continues. Mountain
right.
Ranch Music Festival. You want to talk about that? That's
Here
on
we
Saturday,
go.
starting at 12
Murphy's
noon.
Homecoming continues. Then they were also having the Summer Learning Series.
Probably not even. That's probably during the week, I imagine. Yeah.
Sorry. We was just continued every day.
That's
All right.
There we
okay.
go.
Mountain Ranch Music Festival, July 19th from 12 to 10 p.m. at the Mountain Ranch Community Park, Whiskey Slide Road, and they are going to have Texan Red, Modified Choke, Jeremy Norris, DDQ and Friends, Lita and Real, The Grape, and Stratus, and also, it doesn't have it on this one, but they're also going to have the local favorite, Alma
Yes.
Melodica.
Yes.
And so they, so if you want some, it should be lots of different styles of music.
Uh-huh.
And the interesting thing about the Alma Melodica is they always bring a crowd with them.
Yes, they
We've heard
do.
that there's like
Yes.
1,000 people that just kind of follow
Yes, they
them.
do. They have groupies. Yes.
Yes. We don't have groupies yet on the
No,
news, do
we
we?
don't. We have no one that fall. Well, we don't.
We don't even have a
people who want
crew.
to shoot us.
There's even no crew. It was just,
We have the full poster that was provided by Mr. Quintal.
Yes.
Is that how you say his name? On the front page of thepinetree.net right now. If you'd like to take a look at that, we were supposed to go out and interview him this evening, I think.
We were?
I hope we didn't forget. Yes,
did
we
we
were.
have a time
Well,
for it?
it wasn't set in stone. But anyway.
I'm sorry.
At that's from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Saturday. So go out and have some good old-fashioned fun. All proceeds benefit the Mountain Ranch Community Park. 1 p.m. the duck races began in the park. This is another thing you don't want to miss.
You don't want to miss those duck races. Now, you never really knew how fast those rubber ducks could be.
Yes, and they can go pretty darn fast. Yes,
I mean,
they are.
And they're sneaky.
And they're sneaky.
They can get down in those whirls. I mean, some of these rubber ducks can really move.
For little guys, they're pretty good.
I mean, some of these little rubber ducks, they can crank it.
The kids and adults love it. It's fun.
Also, one of the very cool things is the Calavera Sliders are going to the Western Nationals.
Yes.
So, and they need money.
Yes, they need money.
So, they are having a tri-tip dinner and dancing on July 19 with a social hour beginning at 6 p.m., dinner at 7, dancing is at 8, at the Jenny Lynn's Veterans Memorial Hall in Wild Valley Springs. The fundraiser helps the Calavera Sliders 1400 girls softball team travel to the ASA Western Nationals softball tournament. And so,
For more
I think this was, wasn't the tournament in Oregon?
Yes, it's going to be in Salem, Oregon, starting on July 28th. Let me see. If you would like information, you can call Rena Lewis at 786-2293. They'll be having several drawings and silent auctions. Takeout dinners are also available.
And also, Up the Hill. These are always fun. They throw a good time there.
Yes, they do.
The Camp Connell General Store.
People in high country know how to have a good time.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
And
actually low country too, right? Flatlanders.
Yeah, but there's something about the high country. All right? Because, should we get really off topic for like a second?
Sure, go ahead. We have about 6 minutes.
Now, if you've ever noticed, most really advanced civilizations are in colder climates.
Okay.
And you wouldn't think that. You would think if you're in a banana republic down there where food is easy and everything else, you wouldn't have to work so hard, so you have time to do other stuff.
You're right.
But it kind of proves that man needs to overcome his environment to rise above it.
Yes.
So lots of times,
as you get higher,
as you get colder,
you know how to have more fun.
I think so.
Okay, all right.
So that is the reason why the Mini Blues Festival at Camp Connell should be a really rip-roaring time on Saturday night, because it's a cold climate during the winter, but they have acclimated and overcome, so they're going to party.
Yes, they have. And it's going to be at the Camp Connell General Store, starting at around 6 p.m., with Donnie Harvey and the Esquires performing. Food available for purchase.
And on down the hill, they've still overcome quite a few odds. But the Irish Vineyards, they are having the Blending Bash and the California Wine and Cheese pairing.
Yes. And
also,
that is from 11 to 4 p.m. I don't know if this is for wine club members. I'm not sure. It isn't. It's kind of hard to tell. But looks like from 6 to 8 p.m. they will have wine pairing, dessert, and a surprise. The Blending Bash is from 11 to 4.
Okay. And on back up the hill again, the Cedar Center Summer Music Series continues in downtown scenic Arnold.
Yes.
All right. And July 19th is Combo Number 5 from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. They will be doing jazz and blues. So you could just go from show to show
concert
to show to show.
And they're all fun. They're all outdoors.
There we go.
There's also going to be a weekend evening hike at New Maloney's Lake from 7 to 8 p.m. Meet at the Heron Point Trailhead in the Tuttletown Recreation Area. Meander down the Heron Point Trail as you learn how the magnificent Stanislaus River has changed over time.
If you've ever wanted to meander, this is your chance.
I think it's funny that I'm sure it's at 7 a.m. It's not weird it's in the evening, don't you think?
Maybe it is 7 a.m., huh?
Huh. We have down 7 p.m., so. Okay. Merry Wives of Windsor continues on Saturday evening. Males order brides or Big Harry's. This name is confusing to me. Or Big Harry Deal's Scandalous Scheme continues.
And you can also run across the county quickly.
Yes.
The Jeremy Norris Band will be playing at the Hotel Leger.
Yes.
In beautiful scenic downtown Mokill.
Yes.
And so that is, and we apologize for a little bit of lateral scrolling. I can't use this other computer here real quick for my
technical glitches.
For my teleprompter.
We are a webcast.
All right, here we go.
Right.
On to Sunday. They're having a little more Murphy's Homecoming.
Something exciting is going on.
Okay.
That's not right. Murphy's
Homecoming's over.
But there is a cooking class at Ironstone.
Ah.
So if you haven't made your reservations yet, I highly recommend it. Chef James is wonderful at those cooking classes. They sell out. They're a lot of fun, and they're well worth the money.
And we've heard he has groupies.
Yes, he does have groupies.
Yes, he has those.
He has groupies.
his little posse of women that go from show to
and
show
he's
to
happily
show.
married,
I know,
but
I mean, he does have
probably
his
has groupies.
has his groupies
Yes.
that, yeah.
I'm sure.
And
that
this
is
one,
and that is the weekend. Go ahead, John.
I don't know if this is a self-defense class in his case, but he's teaching knife skills.
Yeah, he can be how to chop, right?
Yes, he's got to keep him back.
Yes, keep him back away.
Yeah,
Because, you know,
away.
it's just so hot.
We got to have the
It's just so hot,
the
right?
knife skills,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Anyway, no, he does a great job. This guy can work a crowd.
Yes, he can.
And there's a lot of people that think in a few years,
I think he's going to
James
be on
will
some TV show or
be
something. Yeah,
will
don't you
be.
think? Yes.
Yeah,
He's very
we
good.
do. Yeah.
That's on this Sunday from 11 to 4 p.m. Reservations are required. The cost includes your instruction, your materials, and wine to drink. He received his training from the renowned Culinary Institute of America and presents a very lively and dynamic cooking class.
At historic Hyde Park, New York.
Yes.
Not only is it the home of the culinary school, it is also the home and family home of Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
I did not know that, John.
And most people
You
probably
being a history
didn't
buff that
care.
you are. And I don't know if I really care either, John.
But
I'm just kidding. You know how much I love history. Oh, the Arnold Rim Trail. I forgot about that. They're having
how could you?
a work day this weekend, this Saturday. Hi, Arnold Rim Trail. Okay, how do I pronounce that word?
Here we go.
Enthusiasts, I'll just say that.
All right.
They are having a day of work on Saturday, beginning Saturday morning at 7 a.m. And that continues, I think, for most of the day, if you're interested in going out and helping with the lovely Arnold Rim Trail.
And 30 seconds of weather. 93, 93, 91, 88 in Arnold. Low 90s.
Okay.
All right. And as you slide on down the hill, well, we'll go up the hill. And then up the hill in Bear Valley, it will be a perfect 82, 82, 82.
All right.
And then as you come down to Murphy's, there are some of those gloomy little red
There they are.
96, 96. That's not that bad as compared to what we've had.
You're right.
On down the hill,
here we
we'll hit
go.
triple digits. So, San Andreas, Valley Springs, Copperopolis, you'll want to head to the lakes.
Yes.
Because you will be in low triple digits, 101 to 103, and we are out. Good night.
See you. Thank you.